All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone, and thank you all for joining Aparo's quarterly Nonprofit Bites and Insights. Today's workshop is centered on LinkedIn success strategies, and we are so grateful that Teddy Burris has agreed to speak with us today and share his extensive expertise. My name is Yen-Ting Liu. I am the Program Associate with Aparo. For those of you who have participated in these workshops in the past, you may be wondering where Jennifer Ray is, but don't worry, she's still around. For those of you who are new, welcome. So before I jump into introducing our speaker, I want to mention two things. One, we are recording this session. If you have joined us in the past, you will notice that we've switched this particular workshop into a meeting instead of a webinar. Your camera is showing. If you're not comfortable with that, feel free to turn your camera off or change your screen name, whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. The second thing is that we will be sending up a follow-up email. It will include the link to this recording, as well as other resources that Teddy will be sharing with us. So I think I've covered that. Let's get into why you're joining us today. So I would like to introduce you to our speaker today, Teddy Burris. He is a LinkedIn strategist, trainer, and coach. He's been doing this for over 10 years. He's been delivering LinkedIn training and coaching programs for businesses and nonprofit professionals. And he does that by guiding them with the best practices and tactics of using LinkedIn as a business tool. We are very fortunate to have him with us today. Thank you so much, Teddy, for your time. I will now turn it over to you.
Great. Yen-Ting, thank you very much. And you're recording, and I'm going to hit share screen, and I'm not going to hit the first button because it's the wrong button. As Zoom made a change that that messed with my head, but I figured it out. So I'm going to move all of you off to the right. So if you see me looking to the right, I'm not looking at my my bookie. I'm not looking at my bail bondsman information, or Twitter or Instagram. I'm looking at for chat. So if you have any questions or thoughts that you'd like to share as I share with you for the next hour, you can do two things, one of two things. You can use the chat and chat to us or to me, and I'll try my best to grab that. I think Yen-Ting, I'm hoping, will help me pay attention to chat. Or you can unmute yourself and go, "Hey, dude," and I'll stop talking and I'll yield to you for any comment, point, or question about what I'm sharing. And look, Beth says she's enjoying it already. Cool beans. Well, Beth, thanks for being here. I don't see Beth, so Beth's hiding, but she's out there. So, but anyway, let me start the conversation. Thank you, Aparo, for inviting me to it. Hey, who am I? I'll go through this really quickly. I've been, and if you could keep yourself muted until, if you could keep yourself muted until you have a question. That would help all of us, including you. So I'm a strategist, and what that means is I teach people to use LinkedIn as a business tool. When I started learning this and practicing this in 2007, created my business in 2010, and my job is to break LinkedIn. My job is to experiment with it so I can show you things that you can do that can help you get more value out of it. If you can't find me, you probably took the R or the one of the R's or one of the S's off my name, because I own the handle PL Burris RRISS. I own that on the internet.
Feel good?
Nope. Somebody still needs to be muted. So looks like Jeremiah is the only one right now that's not muted. So if you could, that would be great. Thank you, Jeremiah. So again, I'm easy to find. Oh, what happened? That's not what I wanted to do. Apologize. What is it doing? Oh, it's going to go to Facebook. Oh, I had this problem. There it is. So I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Quora, Skype, Calendly. I'm now on WhatsApp because I do work globally, and everywhere you find me that I want to be found, I'm TL Burris. I use other handles on the stuff I don't want to be found as easily, like Tinder. Should nonprofits use LinkedIn as a business tool? I would wager that most of the people I'm talking with are you either are a nonprofit or you serve nonprofits. And so when I say I own the handle, Kelly, that means I've registered TL Burris. If I create an account on all those different sites, I use it's called a handle. The TL Burris is the handle. And so I've registered all of those sites with TL Burris, RRS, and that means I own it because nobody else can use it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, et cetera. So do a Google search on TL Burris, it will freak you out. So, should nonprofits use LinkedIn as a business tool? Absolutely, because it's the world's largest professional social media site, the world's largest professional networking site. 760 million people on LinkedIn today, and the number is still roughly about 2 new members every second. I've lost the ability to test that because of a change on LinkedIn, but I used to be able to test it, and up until about 3 or 4 months ago, it was still very close to 2 new members every second. The content that you share on LinkedIn, unless you choose not to, which you shouldn't, the content you share on LinkedIn is visible to all LinkedIn members and through a Google search, whether it's your personal content or your business page content. Group content's different. The content you can put on LinkedIn as a nonprofit organization, as a nonprofit, individual in that space. Personal profile content, company pages, events, groups, articles, polls, posts, videos, live video, open engagement, all of that can be 100% public, and that's just scraping the surface of the types of content you can put out there. You can show up where your target audience hangs out, and the big question is, are the people who support your nonprofit, sponsors, partners, are they business professionals? That's the big question. If the people that you do business or you do work with, or if the people that you do work for, if the people who serve you, if the people on your boards, your volunteers, your sponsors, your partners, et cetera, if a significant portion of them are business professionals, then they are likely to be on LinkedIn.
Motion detected at the front door.
So here's a really cool graphic I started playing with for the sake of sharing it with you guys. Success using LinkedIn requires knowing you are clear about your purpose and your goal. You have to be clear about why you're doing it. And then you can use these 3 foundational areas of LinkedIn to help you to achieve your goal or to be successful. When you build your LinkedIn profile, you must be absolutely clear on who you are and what you do, and how you create value or solve problems. It's if you don't know that, you don't know what your purpose and goal is and what you do and how you create value for the peoples, plural, that you serve, then it's more difficult to build a highly focused professional LinkedIn profile. And Jess, if you could mute yourself, would appreciate it, just so we can minimize the back noise. Thank you, Jess. Second foundational piece is building a relevant LinkedIn network. This is all about connecting with the people who are relevant to your business / nonprofit goals. I don't know why that just happened. Man, I got demons in my computer today. When you look at your LinkedIn profile, and most people who look at their LinkedIn profile, I hear this. It's just a bunch of people. I just sent in a bunch of invites, or I just accepted all the invites I got. And that's the wrong philosophy. You need to build a LinkedIn network with purpose and goal in mind. And you need to build your LinkedIn network around your target audience, sponsors, volunteers, partners, and with their influencers. These are people that you know, who know people that you may want to know. And then as you're building this network, then you can focus on moving the right people into the right conversations. As you connect, move the right people into the right conversations. Again, either unmute yourself or use the chat and ask any question. I'll answer it as we move forward. The third foundational piece is this, and this is where most people drop the ball. This is where most people never get to. And that is to engage in relevant conversations. Engage with your target audience. Engage with your influencers. Engage with people who can help you move your goals forward. There are lots of different people, lots of different types of content you can engage with and engage on, share, as well as get into conversations. And this is where most people fail, is because they don't go to this degree. They don't have enough time to get into a meaningful conversation with their target audience. And then they wonder why they're not getting value out of social media. So these are the three foundational pieces: presence, network, reputation. No questions. I'll keep moving forward. Let's talk about point number one: building a professional LinkedIn profile. You need to know who your target audience is. Who are you building your profile for? Who are you speaking to? Who is the individual on LinkedIn that is important for you to build your profile for, so that they are clear as to who you are and what you do, can do, and have done relevant to them? Karen, do you have a question? I'm paying attention. The microphone is unmuted. So if I see you, I'm wondering if you have a question. Here's point number two.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, mute yourself if you're good. Thank you. Point number two about your profile. Be clear about the message that you are presenting. Be clear about the words that you are using in your LinkedIn profile. And there's a philosophy called SEO, or keyword rich, and that's important to do. If you do a Google search for LinkedIn trainer, I'd love for someone to do that. Someone jump over to a Google tab and do a search for a LinkedIn trainer, and let me know if my name shows up anywhere on the first page, because for me, that's important. I want to use the words that are highly important to my most important viewer, highly relevant, meaningful, because I'm using their words and not my words. Building a profile, point number three. Kelly said I showed up. Cool. I pay a lot of money for that, Kelly. No, it took time. It just took time to build the right profile. Point number three. You need to take all the available sections of a LinkedIn profile. Top of the list says, I think it's Kristen, and I apologize. Yeah, Kristen. Top of the list. You need to use all of the available sections of your LinkedIn profile to tell your stories. Because there are 11 key areas of a LinkedIn profile that you could use. Actually, one section actually has 8. So there's a whole lot of space for you to tell your stories. Again, focus on your target audience, keyword rich, using the words that are important to them, and relevant to who you are and what you do today. Here's number 4. I love this graphic. If you want to show people that you don't care enough about doing it right, you want to find people that aren't doing it right, go do a search for pubic relations, or go look for Manger, or Project Manger, or General Manger. You don't want to be that person. I do a report every year. I call it my Manger report. You don't want to be that person that you wrote a profile and then you're embarrassed. And by the way, I've been here. I've done this mistake where you get embarrassed. You may not even know you should be embarrassed because you spelled it wrong, or you use poor grammar. You don't show up as a professional. So think about that when you're writing your content. I use a tool called Grammarly. Man, Grammarly keeps me out of trouble. There's the joke, the newest meme that I'm going to start using instead of let's eat grandpa. The newest meme is about excuses why they couldn't get to why they're going to the doctor, reasons for going to the doctor. And there's a list of selections to choose of why you're going to the doctor. And one of the options is can't eat diarrhea. I think there's supposed to be a comma there. That was on a huge medical facilities website. Pretty embarrassing, Teddy. So let's talk about your network. I'm looking for questions. So if you have any questions, jump in. Edwin swears by Grammarly. Use it for everything if I could. Dude, I turned it on for Google Docs on my web browser. Anything. I got a tool called Evernote. I can turn it on for Evernote everywhere I can, Edwin. Otherwise, I present myself poorly. Building a relevant LinkedIn network. Everyone on LinkedIn is not important to you. I get this all, oh man, anybody's important to me. No. Oh my golly, everybody in Charlotte's important to me. No, that's not true. You need to know who is the human in the role, in the industry, in the company, in the region, who's important to you. And the clearer you are on your target audience, the better LinkedIn will work for you. Specifically, as you're growing your LinkedIn network, and even more importantly, as you're engaging with your networks. This is where a lot of people make mistakes because they don't get purposely focused on who their target audience is. Point number 2. You need to focus on 2 people. Now, I'm putting this out there. You need to focus on 2 people, even though I know you may connect with lots of people. I connect with lots of people based on relevance. And that word relevance extends across everything: life, community, career, business, nonprofits that I've served, the boards I'm on, and people I meet at events. And, you know, there's lots of reasons I connect on LinkedIn. It's all going to be based on the word relevance. But the 2 people that are the most important is your target audience. That's the person who can help your business or your nonprofit move forward, and their influencers. And that is the person who can introduce you to the person who can have the positive impact on your nonprofit or your business. That's what you focus on. You don't totally ignore everybody else, but if you're trying to build a network around everybody, that'll be overwhelming. Focus on those 2 people. Point number 3 about networking, about building a relevant LinkedIn network. Don't leap, don't jump at sending an invite to someone you find on LinkedIn. Oh my God, this is the person I want to connect with. This is the person that can make everything great. This is the person who can get me that connection and get me their greatest sponsorship. Do not send that person an invite to connect. You hear this? Do not send them an invite to connect because they don't know you from Adam's house cat. Instead, ask someone that you know who knows that person to introduce you to that person. Because a warm introduction is far more successful, far more rewarding. It's a much more productive step to that conversation than sending out an invite. And they go, I don't know who this Teddy Burris dude is. Never heard of him. I wonder if he knows Adam's house cat. By the way, Adam's house cat's name is Schroeder, according to somebody. So don't jump and send an invite just because you find them. That generally is the worst thing you can do. Now, unless you have some real clear relevance to that person. And the most important relevance is they know who you are. Here's point number 4 about networking. Here's one of my props. I got 4 of these, okay? This is a bucket of business cards. That's all it is, a bucket of business cards. I got 4 of them. Yip, yippee for me. I got 14,000 LinkedIn connections. I don't compare that to that. Because every single connection I make, I engage with. Every single person I connect with, I engage with directly, and I strive to do it immediately. Immediately means don't wait a week. Why is that important? If all you're doing is collecting connections, it's similar to that bucket of business cards. It serves you no value. But if you're connecting and you immediately engage in some way that's relevant to them, you're building a brand. You're building trust, respect, and maybe even some level of like. And networking requires, successful networking requires trust, respect, and like. And you don't, in my training and coaching, I go way deeper. You don't engage with everybody the same way. There's not enough hours in the day. But you decide who you're connecting with and to what degree should you immediately engage. But everybody you immediately engage with, because you never know who knows someone that you need to know. Networking point number 5. You got to show that you care. Because people don't care what you know. What's that statement? People don't care what you know until they know you care. Now that's a very blunt statement, and it's sort of kind of real. But when you help somebody, when you do something meaningful for somebody, when you give to somebody, they're more likely to give you time. They're more likely to be open to your conversations. If you help somebody in a personal way, if you help one of your LinkedIn connections in a personal way, the guy sent me a message, said, Teddy, my kid is just graduated from college. I have your ebook, but I lost it. Could you give me another copy to give to my son? Now, because of license agreements for my ebooks, I couldn't do it. And so I had to say no. That's the worst thing in the world to do, is to say no. But I said no, and I gave him an alternative. I said, introduce your son to me. I will be more than happy to spend a half an hour with him and help him out. Why? Because you build trust, respect, and like when you help others. And I'm helping him in a personal way. His message back to me is, I didn't expect you to do that, but I appreciate it. My message back to him is, I'm happy to do it. You never know. Show your network you care. Again, any questions, thoughts, or ideas, jump in and ask and either unmute yourself or hit the chat. Building a relevant LinkedIn network, number 6. Grow your network every single day. My most important asset in my life is my network, which includes my LinkedIn network. It also includes my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube, my Quora. It also includes the 6,000 email addresses and phone numbers that I know that are alive because I test them every year that are in my contact list. They all overlap to make up the most important asset I have in my life. And if you think of it as an asset, what should you do with an asset? Great question. I'm going to leave that out there. Use the chat. If you can look at your LinkedIn network as an asset, what do you do with assets? Go ahead, hit the keyboard, folks. Use the chat. If you can think of your LinkedIn network as an asset, what should you do with your asset? Kelly's spot on. Protect it's a big piece. Manage it. Lisa, protect and leverage it. Grow it. Invest in them. Edwin, I think you're using the word invest in them. Nurture it, Yenting. Yeah. There's one word you haven't used yet that you may not think of. Because, we don't think about this one action that I'm going to share with you for all of our assets. Good golly, I've got 4 daughters, and this one tip I'm about ready to share with you, I would never do it with my money. Give it away. This is one of those assets that the more you give it away, the more it grows. I'm all about introducing anybody I know to someone else I know so that I can help them. Give it away. Good stuff. Thank you for engaging. And by the way, there's a whole lot of tactics about growing your LinkedIn network every day. You're all on this call. I'm hoping that you're looking to see who's on this call that you haven't met yet, because you're all relevant to each other. There's 370 of you, 3,600. Actually, I use the 36,000, always multiply by 1,000. There's 36,000 of us on here. How many are on here that you know who they are, but you've not connected with them on LinkedIn yet? Just a thought. Branding, building a brand. Point number 1. Building your brand is, in fact, the most powerful thing you can do. Having a well-built profile, having a very focused and growing and thriving LinkedIn network is of no value if you're not building a brand. This is where most people forget. I want to use the word fail, and I'm not supposed to use that word so bluntly. Here's building a brand using LinkedIn. Point number 2. Engagement's not about throwing up all over your LinkedIn network. It's not about you, my very blunt words, barfing out your mission statement, barfing out your events, barfing out your activities. It's not all about me, 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 me. It's a small piece of it. It's got to be first and foremost all about your target audience, all about those you serve, all about those who serve you, your sponsors, your volunteers, your partners, your community, all the different people in your community, all the different organizations that are in your community. Engagement's about them and you showing up to be a part of their conversations. And then a little bit of it can be about your business, your nonprofit, your mission, your events. Building a brand is about looking for opportunities. I'm good, time-wise. Look for opportunities to start relevant and meaningful conversations. with not just your LinkedIn network, but with your target audience, with your partners, your sponsors, your volunteers, your community, your the people who align with you. It's about getting into conversations. By the way, I use that picture for this because it smacked me pretty deliberately. My wife took a picture years ago of one of our daughters and their friends sitting on our driveway. We had a long driveway back in Maryland, and that was sort of like it looked. One of them was holding some kind of grass, and the other one was holding I think it was the rabbit. It might have been the rabbit. We can't find the picture. I wanted to use it. But it was two people in a conversation. That's what social media is all about. Humans getting into conversations. And I use the phrase meaningful conversations. Studied an old dead guy. His name's Dale Carnegie. And Dale Carnegie taught me, make the conversation all about the other person. And then I added to Dale's statement, until that other person gives me permission to talk about myself. Point number 4 about building your brand. Look for ways to get into their conversations. Look for conversations that are going on. You don't always need to start the conversation. Sometimes that's harder for a lot of people to do. That's a great way to build a brand, to start a conversation yourself that's highly relevant to your target audience. But go seek out their conversations, and where relevant and appropriate, become a part of that conversation. Don't hijack it. That's a rude thing to do. Someone's having a conversation about dust bunny collectors. Do not jump in there and start talking about, belly button lint connectors or collectors. I screwed that joke up. Dang it. Don't jump in there and hijack someone's conversation and make it your own. That's rude. When we do that in real life, people look at you like strange. They do it on LinkedIn as well as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But look for ways to be a part of their conversations. And listen to this one. This one I'm pretty blunt about, as if I haven't been blunt about the rest of them. Don't become a serial liker. I wanted to say I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a video of someone sitting at their desk and they're falling asleep and their head keeps hitting the keyboard and all they're doing is banging on like. Because there is no meaningful value behind the like button in the context of your brand. Listen to my words here. It's okay to hit the like button to let someone know you saw it. Let the author know you saw it. Let the commenter know you saw their comment. But if all you're doing is banging on the like button, you're missing an opportunity to really truly build a brand, to become trusted, respected, and liked through the words that you use in a meaningful comment. That's far richer than banging on the like button all day long. Call it serial liker. Building a brand, point 6. Try to find an animated GIF of this, and I couldn't find it. No, but slow and steady is better than busting through it. Pick a pace that you can maintain. Pick a pace that you can commit to. Pick a pace that you can do in the context of engaging, in the context of sharing, in the context of doing research, in the context of finding conversations to be a part of, in the context of sending out invites, in the context of managing your invites. Pick a pace that you can sustain long term. Because lots of people will say, oh man, I'm going to bust at this as fast as I can. I want to get to the top of the hill as fast as I can. And they never do, for lots of reasons. One is they go so fast, they miss doing it the right way. And the second reason why it doesn't work is they go so fast, they burn themselves out. Oh, I'll get back to it next week. Ah, man, when I get back from vacation, look, first of the year, I'm going to get serious about LinkedIn. You can't do that. Slow and steady, consistent, something you can commit to. Talk about another area besides your profile, your network, and your engagement. Social prospecting. This is where you're looking for the right people. This is where you're looking for your target audience. You're looking for your influencer. And again, your target audience could be lots of people, vendors, partners, venue folks. It could be, resources. It could be volunteers. It could be, a consultant that can help you realign or redesign or reconfigure your nonprofit so it's more successful. Who are the people that can move your business forward? The people who can help you achieve your goals. And then the influencer is the people who can introduce you to them. You can use LinkedIn without paying for LinkedIn. You can use it to do this kind of research. Now, if you're doing a higher level of research, LinkedIn's going to poke you and go, hey, it looks like you're doing it at a higher level than most people. Maybe you should pay for it. Yeah, slow down a little bit. You can still use it. Who are the people you should be looking for? You should be looking for the people that can help move your organization forward based on specific needs. And don't wait until you need them. Oh my gosh. What's the statement? Dig your well before you're thirsty. Start, finding these people now, and where relevant, appropriate, connecting with them now. Where relevant, appropriate, getting in conversations with them now. So you're building that brand, you're building that trust, that respect and light, so that when it is time to reach into that organization and maybe create a new mission campaign where you can use that organization to help you, you've already got a connection. You've already got an influencer. You've already got somebody on the inside who can introduce you to the right person. Dig your well before you're thirsty. Experiment with the tool. Experiment how LinkedIn search works. Experiment with the search filters, so you get good at it. You don't need to do this all day long, but you at least better understand what the filters are that you can use. You at least better understand how to use it, so that when it is time for you to get deliberate about prospecting or researching, you know how to do it. Because if you don't understand, look, where is it? Wait a minute. I got it right here. This was freaking easy. You can open up a daggone phone book and you can scroll to the name. You can go to the yellow pages and you can find the category. Well, you know what? Social media is different than that. By the way, I just got that in the mail, and it used to be this thick and now it's this thick. Why? Because everybody's on social media. It's easier to find them on their website. But people are investing less and less time on yellow pages and phone books. It's a law that they send that to me, by the way. But when you learn how to do this research and you understand how to do this search to find the people that you want to get into conversations with, and then find the people who can introduce you to those people, man, this gets easier. You just turn yourself on to a brand new tool that you can use to help you grow, that you can use to help you be more successful. So understand how to use the search tools. And as you are doing this prospecting, you find somebody you want to meet and connect with, and they don't know you from Adam's house cat, whose by the name is Schroeder, and you're looking for a way to get in and introduce to them, and you don't have someone that can introduce you to them. Well, by golly, here's another way to do it. Bump into them. So if you want to meet Nancy Friedman, by the way, just ask me to introduce you and I will. But if you don't have a connection to her, then just engage with her. And if she's active on LinkedIn, which there's ways to determine if she's active or not, stay tuned for my next YouTube video, because I'll do a YouTube video on whether or not they're on LinkedIn or not. If she's active on LinkedIn and you engage in her content, she'll go, oh my golly, this Teddy Burris just engaged in my content. Who is he? I'll look at his profile. Oh, he's interesting. She'll comment back. Boom, just start a conversation, and we're not even connected yet. Bump into your target audience through their post. This is probably the most powerful feature of LinkedIn, is for me to see who I know who knows you. If I want to connect with Elizabeth, let me bring her over here. If I want to connect with Carolyn or Edwin or Jennifer or Karen or Catherine or Kelly or Ken or Kristen or Laura or Tanya, there's a whole bunch of Yentings on here. Or Ross Feldman, I see what you did. You gave out that link. If I want to connect with any one of you, I'm going to look for someone that I know that knows you and ask for an introduction. And my intent is one thing and one thing only for step one, and that is to connect. Everything else comes after that. Step one, get introduced so you can connect. Which, by the way, the system doesn't require that, but the best practice does. That's supposed to say 0.6. Then as you're doing this, as you're prospecting, as you're looking for the right people to get to connect with, then what you want to do is look for the right way to move the right people into the right conversations. And please don't be like some of those people who use automation, who send out the same message to everybody. It's sickening, because they're individuals. This is a human-to-human engagement. This is human-to-human conversations. You're not a robot. Don't look like a robot. I like robots, but I don't want them involved in my networking. I want them building my cars. Success using LinkedIn for nonprofits is for everybody in the organization, everybody in the nonprofit, everybody in the company, to build their personal LinkedIn profiles professionally. To build individual, relevant, meaningful LinkedIn networks focused on your target audience and your influencers. Along the way, connecting with people you meet in life who are relevant to you in lots of different ways. I'm connected to baristas all over the country. Starbucks baristas. They used to ask me when I would hang out at Starbucks, what do you do? I'm a LinkedIn strategist. Oh, I'm on LinkedIn. It's like, cool. Send me an invite. Let me know we met here. I bet you I'm connected to 4 or 5 baristas. I like my Starbucks baristas. You're nice to them. They're nice to you. Engage. It's the secret sauce. Get into meaningful conversations. Start meaningful conversations that are relevant to your target audience. Go look for conversations that are relevant to your target audience or from your target audience and jump into their conversations. It's a human activity. And then develop your own routine processes where you integrate the use of LinkedIn as a business tool into what you do. You integrate LinkedIn into other relevant processes. Not if you treat LinkedIn like a sideline tool, it'll always be a sideline tool. But if you treat LinkedIn like a business tool, the same way you treat your phone, your email, your member management tool, et cetera, your CRM tool. If you integrate it into all of that, then it becomes a very powerful tool. Yenting, that's my conversation. At this point, I'm eager to hear questions that people have.
I wonder if this is a good time to maybe someone can share a LinkedIn profile that you can give feedback for.
Also, I would absolutely love if someone wants to tell me their LinkedIn profile, I'll bring them up and we can talk about how you're using your personal profile or how you're using your company page. So anybody who wants to bring up their LinkedIn profile, just drop your name or say yes. I'll look for you real quick. I'd be more than glad to share ideas and perspectives that could help you. Edwin, look, Allie dropped hers in the chat, but I'll bring up Edwin. Edwin just typed his name, Edwin, V-H-A-R-R. The capital letters shouldn't make any difference. Is it Edwin V. Harris? Oh, Edwin, I'm sorry. Are you in Charlotte, Edwin? I can't find you with Edwin Harris. Can't find you. So if you could drop your URL, make it easier. So Allie, you need to respond back with a yes or no to this question. Are you open to coaching while we're chatting? I need a yes or a no. Well, I guess why not would be a yes. You need a picture. You absolutely need to have a picture. You may have one, but I can't see it. So if you have one, you need to go to your settings and put your picture there. Okay. That would be important. And, you know, there's a whole lot of magic behind this. You want to make these first 3 lines. Listen to this, Allie. Make these first 3 lines all about your target audience. All about your target audience. Here's Edwin. Oh, are you seeing my screen, Yenting?
No, we're not seeing your screen.
Are you seeing it now?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't know what happened there. So yeah, when I was looking at Allie's profile, I don't see a picture. So and there's no graphic there. Put a beautiful graphic. Doesn't have to be branded. And Edwin, this Edwin here, no, wrong Edwin. Edwin Harris II. I typed that in. Here's Edwin. Edwin's looking for, I'm assuming you're looking for a job because you're telling me you're looking for a job there. So thoughts, your about section, again, should talk about the value you bring, how you create value, how you solve problems. You got some good stuff there, but you know, you really want to think about who you're saying that for and who you're saying that to. Chris says, what type of graphic would you suggest on the profile up here? Look, Edward's got a nice image up there. It's just got to be something colorful, a little bit different than everybody else. Doesn't have to be branded. So, you know, Alyssa's missing an opportunity to let, you know, this, when you put a graphic there that shows you cared enough to dress up your profile. So Alyssa, open to coaching. I'm assuming with the answer is yes, because you shared your profile. You don't need to tell me your title. I know who you work for. Right here, you're saying that you work right here. So you don't need to tell me who you work for. Instead, tell me what you do that creates, tell me what you do. Tell me how you serve. Tell me how you solve problems, how you help your target audience. And Alyssa, you're missing the about section. You're missing your about section's empty, where you can tell your story, where you can tell people what you've done, can do, have done. Listen to these words, Alyssa. Enjoy doing. So think about that. These are quick ideas. Again, I go real deep into this into my programs, but for an hour chat, we got 8 minutes left. Catherine, hello. Oh, look at this girl. I like this. Hello, I'm Catherine. Okay. Together we can do rad things. I'm ready. Are you? I like this. That's really cool. Good stuff, Catherine. You're repeating that though, you know? So think about this for a minute. You've already said that up here. This is what's called your headline. This is the #1 most important field on LinkedIn. It goes with you everywhere you go. So what you want to consider putting there are keywords that are highly relevant to the people you serve, highly relevant to, relevant to your mission, relevant to your sponsors, your partners, et cetera, et cetera. So think that way instead of, repeating what you've already told me. So it's a great statement. I love it. I just don't think it needs to be repeated. Jess, Augustine Literary Project. Jess, I don't know if I can find Augustine Literary. Let me see. Let's see if I can find that. Augustine Literary Project, Literacy Project. Is that the name of the business on LinkedIn?
Yes, that's correct.
So this is I'm assuming you're sharing, telling me a company page.
Yes, I hope so at least.
Yeah. So it's just getting started. It has a
No,
lot.
that's not the right one. It's Augustine Literacy Project, Charlotte.
Companies, Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah, that's the green one.
You got 5 followers now. So there's a way to generate more followers. There apparently are no employees here. I don't see any employees. Okay. So
that goes under people. Okay.
One, Michelle's an employee. I don't think she's listed as an employee appropriately. Might be, but she doesn't show up on the list. I'm not sure why. I should see a number of employees right here. So, I mean, this, I like this. I just see there's work to be done to get more people to find it. You got to get more people to find it. I would fix that phone number, make it look better. But then here's what it's really missing. This is Jess I'm talking with, I think.
Yes.
You're not giving me anything. Okay. 2 days ago, you wrote something. Oh, is this a brand new page?
Brand spanking new.
Brand spanking new. And I'm one of the new followers. So start giving your audience content that they want. Give your don't talk about everything that Augustine Literacy Project does. 90-10 rule. 90% of the time you need to be speaking to your target audience about something that's important, relevant, useful, entertaining, engaging to them. And then 10% of the time you can talk about this is what Augustine Literacy Project's doing, and this is what we need, and this is what we're seeking. But think about that model. And then get your people to get more followers. Once you get 10 or 15 pieces of content in here, then go to your people and try to get more followers. Alyssa's asking, do I have an example of businesses do a great job of that? And there are lots, but every organization is different. So I really struggle giving examples of other profiles or other company pages. Instead, I get you to think about, remember, if 90% of the content you're given does not speak about you, you're doing it right. And that will allow you 10% of the time to talk about yourself. So, I struggle.
One more that we missed. Can we look at Dana McDonald's profile?
Mick, D-O-N-A-L-D, what's Dana's company?
Is it Goodwill?
Goodwill. Dana, talent development, is that you, Dana?
Motion detected at the front door.
Is this Dana here?
Yes.
And, yeah. So, by the way, Goodwills are partners of mine. I do Goodwill. I work with Goodwill Northwest and Goodwill Central. I'd love to say hi to Goodwill Southern Piedmont. So
Yes, hello, I'm off mute.
yeah, there you are. You found that button. We're good.
Yes, I found that button.
Yeah. So I like this reimaginer, thought leader, senior leader, spot on. This is much richer than most people would say. I am the VP of Talent Development at Goodwill Industries Southwest Piedmont. So much richer. And then, but you know, instead of telling me your experience, I know your experience, Dana. I know you're good. I know you're passionate. Don't tell me that. Tell me how you serve.
Great.
Tell me how you serve.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And put a beautiful picture there. There goes
Yeah,
this picture. I love
I'm
the
gonna add a
smile.
graphic.
Look at this. Look at the smile. I'm here and I'm representing. You know, good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, I got 2 minutes left. So
We
here's
got 2 minutes. Want to do the last one with Karen?
who was that again?
Karen, she put the link on the chat.
Is this Karen
Yes.
in Charlotte? Professional human resources, diversity, inclusion, risk. I mean, you don't need to tell me you're a professional, lady. I know you are.
Okay.
But these are all powerful words, and you don't have to have the period, but you get 220 characters there. Think about speaking about how you create value, how you serve, how you solve, how you inspire, how you help people overcome. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just getting you to think beyond that.
Okay.
And Lordy, you don't need to tell me that as soon as you got out of high school, you got into this business.
Okay.
You don't need to tell me that.
Okay.
Tell me how you serve. Speak to, your target audience. And, if, are you sponsored? Are you state funded? How do you get money?
We are receive funding through Mecklenburg County as well as United Way.
Okay.
So government agencies, private individuals.
Okay. So the magic would be, who are you speaking to here? That you need to understand who you're speaking to, and then you can know what you want to say, and you can know what you want to say here.
Okay.
So I guess there's a diversity of people you're speaking to. You could be speaking to, United Way and Mecklenburg County in some respects. You could be speaking to individuals for sponsorship. You could be speaking to partners and volunteers. So I don't know that clearly, but the more clear you are as to who you're speaking to, the more clear you can be on your messaging.
Okay.
So it's a journey. It really is. Don't try to bust through it. So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are at 1 o'clock. Teddy, I have a question. We do have
Yes.
a couple more questions that have trickled in. Would it be okay if I send that to you and you can answer that? I can share it with the group.
Absolutely. If you send the questions to me by the end of the day, when I send my email to you that you're going to send out to everyone,
Yep.
I will include those questions with the answer.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That
Because you're
was
going
an
to get an email.
incredibly, that was an incredibly informative workshop. We really appreciate it. Everyone, please be on the lookout for that follow-up email. It will include a link to this recording, the presentation deck, like Teddy said, answers to any follow-up questions you might have, and any resources that Teddy will be sharing with us. Is there anything else you want to add, Teddy?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to share. I hope it nudged everyone to do at least one thing a little different and a little better than you were.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you everyone for your time, and have a wonderful rest of the day. See you next time.